everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Let's go see what's going on today. There is nothing like a first cutting of hay and a spring afternoon. Look at this, we even get a cameo appearance from Trey. He's out here doing some lawn mowing. Our yard is turning into a hayfield with this grass growing, and they're doing it. The boys picked up another push mower, so there's 3 of them, and they just pick a section and work. They can knock out a section in a half an hour. It's amazing. They're saving me thousands of dollars on a new mower. So here is our south hayfield, and as you can see, the mustard has just taken right off. This area usually floods so bad every year, right about where he is now. He's about 7 or 8 rows in, it looks like. Anyways, it gets so wet that this year it did not. We did not have all that heavy snow melting. No massive torrential rains this spring to wash everything out. And the sod base is much weaker through there just because it was a lot of dryness last year when we planted this, but the field is just doing great. Look at all this green matter. He toyed with bringing out the John Deere chopper and chopping it. I guess he just decided to go ahead and cut it because he wanted to get that mustard before it goes to seed. A few years ago, we had a lot of mustard here, and it is terrific for the honeybees, but not so much your crop that you're growing. So we're working real hard at getting it cut. Okay, he's working real hard at getting it cut. I'm doing a lot of online sales today, getting things ready for shipping, selling things from home on Facebook. It's been a busy afternoon, and I'm about to head out to the grocery store, so I wanted to make sure that I got a clip of this before I head out. Trey said we're going to bale it, so they're going to go ahead and cut it because it's so thick. It looks like he had some grasses growing in it, and at a far distance you really couldn't tell if this was an oat or rye, but that's got a pretty good head on it. That looks like our rye.
Take a picture of that oat tree.
Okay. But as you can see, we got some nice weeds growing in it and some mustard. So this is good spring cutting stuff to give to your cows. A lot of horse hay customers, they don't want the weeds, and they tend to stay away from the organic hay purchases anyway, just because they don't want to chance getting any toxic weeds in there. The sheep, the goat farmers love it because the milk quality is so rich and so good. Their milk production just goes way up because we have a lot of alfalfa to give them the nutrients that they need, but there's enough grass and other forages in here to give them anything else they need for a complete diet. It helps them to feed less grain, which is good for everybody's pocket. Trey here is super excited. He's ready to get out here tedding and raking. You know, he's our tractor operator and helper. He's 10. He's going to be 11 at the end of this month in about 2.5 weeks. It's good work for a guy to be learning this at his age. And look at this, what else he's learning. Plant last year to harvest this year. So like the field across the road, it was all weeds. They plowed it under. They did some cultivating to move it all around. And did they seed it last week, Trey?
A little bit longer ago.
Did they plant some corn?
I used corn planter, but
Yeah. So it's likely there's going to be a corn crop across the street, which in previous years there's been beets, there has been cucumbers. Last year they had just a quick crop of beans that they planted really late. It was real late getting in there for some reason. So we've had some freezing weather, and some people have had some corn coming up, and it is sickly yellow because the cold nights are too much. It froze again last night too. So the benefit of having this already planted is that the freezing nights aren't affecting it. The other day it was so warm in the ground and the temperature was cold, they had a 2-hour school delay, which is surprising to have that at the end of the school year like that. As always, doing it with his John Deere 37 Sickle Bar mower. Oh, he's getting some skips. He's clogged. Or else he went too far over. Yeah, he cut over, so we missed a little strip. That's okay. Yeah. Well, and you got to move around in the tree. So, do you remember last year when we made the video that we were planting trees for the future? This is the little oak tree that we planted. And look at that, it is growing. We gotta go through and pull some weeds and some thistles out of there before they take off. But we got leaves. It did real good. This one had a benefit that it was close distance to the house, and there's a hose faucet there, and on the other side that I could be out here doing other things. Oh, there's a deer trail right here. If you stand here, you can see a trail. Yeah, we have cut this in the past and did work out here where baby deer are laying down in the thick, low parts where you just don't even see them. It's so cute. So, lots of success with the trees. We went around, I think we had one tree out of 13 or 14 not make it, he said. You went around with him?
No, it was the day you came.
Oh, okay. I've been out working and doing things, and I have to run the house. I'm the only one who'll wear a mask and go out in public, so, well, Trey did go out with me yesterday and made a quick stop with a mask on. You got to get things done when you can, and it's just real good to kind of work as a team. This part of the team does the shopping, and that part of the team does the farm work. Well, that part of the team does the heavy farm work.
Last year we did mow it last year, but it wasn't thick enough, so we did rake it, but, well, we did bale it actually, but it wasn't a whole bale.
Really?
Yeah.
For this whole field?
Yeah, came out in that field.
Oh my.
Yep.
In this particular field, being close to the barn, everything from the pig pens that I cleaned out came here, so all that good natural fertilizer back into the land. But you can see here, here's that alfalfa plant, and here's some clover right here. You got your grasses growing. There's some real fine little grass. There's the lower. There's some that come up with little red heads on them. But it's real good stuff. You know, it's got some weeds in it. You can see there's something popping up there. We've looked up so many different types of weeds. Look at how pretty that is. And then right here, see that? Wildlife all around us. That's the obstacle problem of planting trees in your field. Have to bring the weed whacker out to get the rest of it down. There's a lot of thistles because of the dirt in that area not having had the seeder go around it or the planter. And we planted this whole field with our grain drill. And for the better part of this field, we were low on clover and alfalfa also. At the end, he had me riding through the center section here. On the back of it, the steps, scattering it through. So see now see this grass? That's already heading out, even as cold as it's been. So Trey and I were talking here. I think this is the brome grass that we're seeing here that's heading out. And for sure, this is the rye. You can see it better in this particular stalk. Look at that. I remember his dad showing me how to count out all the little stems in there. Look at that. All those are going to be turning into a grain if they don't get cut. We don't need it to reseed itself. He couldn't remember if he planted them in there or if he just not cleaned out the grain drill. But we did oat hay and other fields on the other side, so he must have just had a little left over in here. Well, I lied. There is one thing better than a nice spring afternoon. Finding your first on your own property morel mushrooms. Look at that. I was helping him hook up his hay cutter. Oh, I just kept finding a few. I have looked for 8 years, maybe 9. Look at the size of this one. Look at that. Morel mushrooms all cooking up. This is about $20 worth of morel mushrooms. We saw the price at the store last night, $67 a pound. That's $4.19 an ounce. We've got 5 ounces, so it was a little over $20. We've got $12 worth of bacon, and this is a breakfast snack totaling about $40. I mentioned Bethany's been helping painting. You guys saw in the video with her doing her nightstand. She wanted to be a participant. This old birdhouse had an oil-based stain on it, and I really didn't want to stain it at this point. The back is getting all rough looking here. It could use something over there to keep anything from running down into the little birds. But little Bethany volunteered to be my painter. Look what she did. I had some leftover yellow from the bee boxes, and she went ahead and gave us a rainbow and a heart. She got into Jack's oil-based paints and enamels from his models and took right over for us. Isn't that beautiful?
It's moving.
He's moving.
It's moving.
Look at that. He's just little.
I don't think he can see you. I think the hand is too high.